There it is. Hey Virgo, what's going on? Welcome back for another weekly reading. You know what? I did your reading yesterday. It was amazing. It was so good. And then I go to post it last night and it is completely gone. And I had listened to it to make sure the sound worked. So I know it was there. And when I went to go find it, it wasn't there. Checked the recycle bin, checked all around my computer, just vanished. So I'm taking that as it wasn't meant for some ears to hear. And the message, there was a message in there for somebody specific. Okay. There was a lot in there for me from my mother, who's a Virgo. And she didn't want some certain people hearing some things. So, okay. All right. Thank you, Mama, for that protection. This reading is going to be about relationships, love, union. I split right to union and jealousy. What the what? And you know, I'm using, this came out twice and the Two of Cups came out. I put it back, but this came out twice, the Empress. So we're going to get into that. I feel like this is going to be twin flame, or it doesn't have to be. Let's just see. I just let Source tell me which way to go. They guide. You're sitting in this Empress energy right now, and the more you raise your vibration and you sit in that Ten of Cups energy on a day-to-day basis. I'm not talking about the Ten of Cups that a lot of tarot readers talk about, where like blissed out, all happiness. No, we need to really start working on the day-to-day, having that Ten of Cups in our day-to-day. That is how you manifest. Because the truth is, how many times are you going to get a huge, I forgot, my notifications are going off like crazy. So this is important for me to say. When we watch readings and we focus on these Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles and having, generational wealth and this happiness, do you know that comes because you are already living in the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles in your current environment? It is an emotion. The emotion, and then this is something I'm really starting to get a grasp of that I didn't realize I wasn't. The emotions are so vitally important to your manifestations, because when you can give lip service all day to the universe, say it, speak it, affirm it, intend it, and say it. But if your heart and those emotions are feeling the opposite or not quite matching the words, your vibration, what you're emitting, is actually what you are receiving back. It's not the words that you're speaking. Now, if you say words, you speak words, and there's an emotional reaction that like ties to that, then you're going to manifest. If you say words and there's an emotional reaction where this feels opposite of what you're saying, you're going to attract what this is, not what this is. Does that make sense? 333 as I said that. So the name of your game right now is to live in the Ten of Cups in your environment. You don't need money. You don't need a lot of resources. You don't need it. These resources are being taken away from you to get you to a point where you get so bored that you have to sit around and get creative in your environment. That's what Source is wanting you to do. There's nothing extra that you need at this time. What you need is to find ways to be happy where you are so that more happy comes. Because when you're sitting in that happy place, that peaceful place, that positive place, that refreshing place, and if you haven't been there for a while, ask the universe to help you with that. Okay? Ask the universe to help you with that. That's the place you want to be in. That's a Ten of Cups. Being in your house and, maybe music's playing and your kids are having a good time and you're having a good time and everybody's just kind of getting along, the conversation's flowing easily. These are the types of things you want to make sure you're having in your day-to-day. Because if you're giving a lot of airtime to the struggle, you're going to manifest the struggle. Now, if you're someone who's getting out of a sticky situation or harder situation, just know like you can still live in it. Like, this is old news. What I'm living right now, this room, this video, this experience, these thoughts, This is old news. This is stuff that I've been repetitively living for a long time. This right now, the physical that you're living, is the manifestation of energy previously that you've lived before. So in order for the energy that you want to live in the future to be, the blessings and just feeling good, just feeling amazing and happy. And you know what? There's times where I've had nothing and been so happy that I could care less. I felt like I had everything. And I'm trying my hardest to get back to that place where where that happened, and it's been a little difficult. So I understand the difficulty, but that's why right now it's important to find relief. It's important to find things that soothe you. If you do something and it's not soothing you, it's not making you feel better, then it's time to shift. And they want you to know it is possible. And I experienced this recently a few times. It is possible to be in a toxic environment and have your happiness be so dominant, or your peace be so dominant, that whatever's going on around you, like whatever somebody else is doing, whatever catastrophe they're experiencing, it's not going to affect you even if you witness it. Like, see it. There was this time I had, and just let me give this example to you. I was vibrating extremely high. I had this really high vibration. I was happy. And it was one of those days where I was just like on cloud 100, cloud 900. I'm trying to make it bigger, bigger number. So I'm driving and something came up, and it triggered an old memory in me. So picture like a merry-go-round going like, are you going to try to jump on that merry-go-round when it's going like this? No, you're going to get flung off every time. You're going to get hurt and flung off, hurt and flung off. You're just going to pop off of it. That was how my energy was spinning. My vortex. It's like this. And then something happened regarding, I don't know, it was something came up and it reminded me of something painful. And it's like for a split second, my energy just dipped like, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom, and it just picked back up. It was like almost like I could feel it. Like the energy went, and my energy at that point was like, nope, you gotta go. Nope, you gotta go. Crystal's too dominant in her alignment right now. Nope, you gotta go. Nope, you gotta go. That's what you need to do in your current environment. And you do that by soothing yourself, by being creative, by being happy, by finding relief, loving, and being softer with your words. And I'm also hearing, let other people off the hook. Don't be so rigid. That's something else I just heard. All right. That message had to come out. I apologize that was off track, but that's what they wanted me to tell you. Back to the love reading though. You're in this place where you are sitting in this Empress energy. So someone here, or a lot of you, are actually tapping into this feminine energy and a really high vibration. You're understanding your patterns better. You're finding clarity in the midst of chaos. And it's almost like you're in a place now where you're starting to be able to like observe something and detach from it at the same time, which is a beautiful thing. Because if you're observing a pattern or a behavior or something that needs to be let go of, like transmuted and released, being able to look at it and say, oh man, I can see where this is kind of in the way. Like, let's try something else. I'll try this. But some people, when those patterns, and a lot of people do this, when those patterns come to you and they're showing you, it's like you're supposed to just witness it. When it's shown to you, you're like beating yourself. Oh my God, there's so much to do. There's so much to do. Oh my God. I got to change everything about myself. When is this going to end? Oh, that. And I'm not trying to make fun because I've been there so many times. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Too much. But that's the energy they're trying to release so that you can, and I feel like you've done a lot of it. Yeah, you have. I'm sorry. I'm just channeling. When I channel, I don't like looking at this camera. I like to. Work through your fears. There are so many things that inundate your mind that you don't realize are fear-based because you're so used to thinking them. That now that they're becoming visible to you, You're thinking there's all this extra work to do, and there's no extra work. This has been the work all along. It's just you're finally recognizing it because you're able to look at yourself and see your own patterns, and to see the place that other people had in your life and the place you had in their life. And it's almost like, instead of being able to put the blame game on people, well, they hurt me, they cheated, they did this, you're like seeing your patterns inside of that and understanding, man, okay, I have things to work on too. I didn't realize that about myself. The only thing that's going to happen to you, it's almost like you're afraid to cry this out, admitting it. It's like admitting it to yourself is painful, because you're afraid that if the tears start, the dam's going to break and you're not going to be able to come back from it. And you are. What it's going to do is actually help release the animosity and fear and all of the things attached to those ruminating thoughts that need to leave. And as you release that, and I really feel like it's going to be like one big release, and it doesn't feel painful. Honestly, it feels cathartic, recognizable, understandable, and finally something clicks. And it's as soon as you have that, and that's happening this week. I feel like Wednesday's a big day. That's tomorrow. Yeah. I don't know. Something about a Wednesday being significant for someone here. What you need to release is some type of perspective or point of view on an individual that you were involved with, a relationship, and it feels romantic in nature. That's all you need to release. And it's, even if you don't want to, it's like, even if it's twin flame, you're not fully releasing them, but you are releasing the hold they have over you, and that has to happen. The healing happens separately in twin flame, separately. Both of you have to rise. Both of you have to stand in your power. Otherwise, it is oil and water. Oil and water. I'm telling you, it is, yeah. You got to do that. And it doesn't mean you're releasing them forever. It just means they're not ready for you right now. And that's okay. They will be at some point, but it takes you releasing this for them to actually just have their heart even cracked open. Okay? So, having said that, if you find yourself like fake laughing around people, like fake smiles, just being like, almost like with a stranger, like, oh, hi, how you doing, and it's all pleasantry. This light is driving me nuts. Okay. It's all pleasantries. It's all, it's like, hi, how are you? Oh, they want you to stop doing that. This scenario, this is not something where you fake it till you make it. This is something that you need to admit to yourself, because you're not. And this relationship wants to move forward, but it's not able to until you admit this to yourself. There's like, this person hurt me. This person, I'm here. Our values may not be aligned right now. Our values may be opposite. That doesn't mean we can't ever be together. It just means right now I need to focus on myself because I'm feeling really good. I understand myself better. The clarity's coming. I'm feeling friskier. I'm feeling happier. I'm feeling alive. And I'll allow so-and-so to come back into my life if and when they match that energy. But I'm not going backwards, because one bad apple spoils them all. Remember that old saying? It's kind of what it feels like. And it's because you're still in this newer stage of being in higher vibrations. I don't care how long this has happened. There's been layers and layers and layers that have been removed from you that needed to be removed. And now you don't want to pack those layers back on by allowing someone in just because you think you can love them wholly. No, they have to love themselves. And that is going to happen. It's just not going to happen right away. I do feel like there's this panicky, urgent energy, like an urgency to reach out, an urgency to talk to you, just to hear your voice, just to, I'm seeing someone here who's got, like, they look at their phone and they pick it up, or they hear their phone go off and they rush to the phone, pick it up, and it's not you. Not, oh. Hear their phone, rush to the phone, pick it up, it's not you. They text you, maybe you don't respond right away or you don't respond at all. And then they're like in their head about this. And that's okay. Let them being that. Don't feed, I don't want to say demon, but I do. Like, don't feed their demon. Don't feed that demonic energy where they're looking to siphon your energy because you are full of love and they need to feel that cup of love. They've got to fill their own cup. Have to. I'm not saying you can't talk to them, but they don't want you like inundating anyone with a lot of information of things that you have going on right now. Don't tell them a lot about your life. Don't tell them a lot about what you're doing in your life. Don't tell them a lot about how you feel. This isn't the time to do that right now. I feel like this conversation will happen once the other party opens up. That's the time to have it. You having this conversation and expressing this to someone and they're not willing to even see this in themselves or like in that, that emotional and cooking in that emotional environment where they're like, they can easily understand what you're saying. They're not understanding what you're saying at all. Although you understand it, other people are like, kind of glazed over when you say things. And that's okay. It's going to have them questioning on what are they talking about? I don't know what the hell they're talking about. What are they talking about? Well, guess what? When you ask what are they talking about, asking it is given. They're going to find out what you're talking about. They don't realize it, that these little seemingly meaningless type of things, like, well, what did she say? What the hell does that mean? They're going to get the answer to that. And if you're a spiritual person and what you're speaking is spiritual in nature, then they're going to get information about that spirituality. So anyway, let's get back into this. Woo! Appreciation. So here, this message is going to be twofold. I'm going to get into the other person in a second, but they're having me focus on you right now because these are the things you need to do in order to propel yourself forward. And they're giving you what the other person who's behind you is going to do as they start moving forward following you. You have appreciation here that fell on denial. So while you may be afraid, maybe you're afraid to express yourself or express this pain and you feel silly for doing that and you're like kind of denying that this is happening and this pain that you need to express, just admitting it. What's going to happen is full on appreciation. So the opposite of what you think will happen when you admit that you need to let someone go at this time or you need to, like kind of pull away from this circumstance or this environment. What you're going to find is appreciation. And what you're thinking, what you're vibrating is fear. Like, oh, I don't know what to expect. This is only going to get worse. My life experiences so far have only shown me that things get worse. They don't get better. That's not what's going to happen here. And it's because you're doing something that's in alignment with your higher self, your inner being. Now, having said that, as you step fully into this Empress, and this really feels like the last thing you need to do before some great blessings come into your life, truly. It feels like this is the last thing. And when these blessings when these blessings come, when these blessings come, this other energy is going to be like, what? Oh my gosh. What have I been doing? How did I not know this about Virgo? Oh my God. Heart's just like in their chest. So they're the ones all of a sudden feeling like they need to keep up appearances because they feel inferior to you. Isn't that crazy? Because you have a blessing and an upgrade and you're speaking from a place of confidence and being kinder and sweeter with your words, and because you're releasing the trash, the crap you don't need anymore, now all of a sudden you become intimidating to be around because your energy is speaking louder than your words. And that's how people find you attractive. That's how people find you so like they're enamored by you. Okay? There is something here about this person in the past. They're going to go through this period. Maybe you went through it. They're going to go through this period where they are worried about you finding things out. and they haven't realized yet that you're going to end up, you already know some of this stuff, and you've been through it yourself. So it's like, wow, this other person's trying to match your energy and reach you where you are. They are going to go through this period where they're like terrified, like they're trying to push their heart. I'm doing this to push my heart down. Like they're trying to push the heart down so that they can speak. It's like their heart's wanting to come up into their throat because they're terrified that if you find out what they've done, or you've seen evidence or screenshots or, videos of any sort of things that they've done that they think you would like write them off for, they're not going to speak it right away. And the thing is, you're going to know about this. And I feel like you're going to find it kind of funny because you remember going through things similar to this. Like, all you got to do is just admit it. It's not going to be as painful as you think. But in their mind, they've built it up to be like Goliath, a huge mountain. And maybe you've done this. You're going to be able to show this person grace. I like it. Around spring. We're in spring. Something's popping off for you in springtime. Okay. I'm not really feeling this deck anymore. I'm going to grab a different one. I don't really care for this one right now. It's just not sitting with me. All right. There it is. That really flung. Space. I need more time to think. This is what I mean. Somebody here is over analyzing. They want to reach out. Their energy is like being called to you. They may reach out, but it's not anything of substance. It's they're talking about things that are maybe valuable, but not heart-based, not the conversation that you've been wanting to have and that they need to have with you. This is going to be stuff, maybe funny stuff or stuff regarding, I don't know, like a child or I don't know. You know what I mean? It's going to be like everything else but what they need to talk about because they're too scared to tell you what they're really thinking and feeling right now. So give them that space. And I feel like you have given them space. 2 on the clock. I feel like you have given them space. But I also think that you are benefiting from this space as well. The only thing that's holding you up is the fact that you think about them so much. Yeah, they're trying to work on their self-worth. Look, unworthy, you're a better person than I am. They're trying to figure out who they are. They're trying to work through the shame and the guilt. And those emotions, they are the most difficult ones to express because it almost feels like you can't come back from it. I'm a Scorpio and it's hard for me. So it just feels like you can't come back from it when you get into those things where you have to admit things to yourself. But you get through it. You'll work through it. They'll work through it. And things are going to be beautiful between you and this person. Really. You are in this really high energy right now where you are manifesting big time. So please keep your thoughts as even keel as possible. And live in the moment. Focusing on the future constantly or thinking about what happened in the past or if it could happen again, it's robbing you of the joy right now. There's a scripture about that. Do not worry about tomorrow or yesterday's trouble. What is it? You know what? I'm going to look it up. Hold on. I can't remember it, but I know there is. Okay. Yeah, so Matthew 6:34. It says, "Therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." This verse encourages focus on the present and trusting in God for that future. Jesus emphasized that excessive worry about future problems is unproductive and can detract from enjoying the present. And your power is in your present moment. Your power isn't in thinking about the future constantly. You also have to live in this energy. You can't want to build a dream that is just beautiful and abundant and peaceful and happy and live in this energy of when's this gonna change? It doesn't work like that. So try as best as you can to stay present in whatever it is you're doing. And I don't know if it was your reading or somebody else's reading yesterday. They also had me write on my hand, is this taking me towards my goal or away from my goal? something to that effect. They really want you to start pointing out things that you enjoy, that you like, that you feel good to you, and just inundate yourself with positivity as much as you can. And don't make it phony. If you say it and it doesn't feel good, then that means it just doesn't resonate with you. You can ask your spirit team to give you ideas. Give you ideas. Like, one thing for me, instead of saying I intend to do something, it's better for me personally to say I choose this. It just clicks in my heart better. I don't know why. Setting an intention doesn't feel that great to me. It feels kind of foo-foo for me. So if I sit down and I write I choose this, it just sits in me better. So you have to play with the words and figure out what works for you, because you're all different. You can't have one blanket statement for everybody and expect everybody to be like, it's not going to happen. But that's all they want you to do. You have got really high energy right now. You're vibrating on a very type of scale. Okay, it's more like this right now. But it's going to get like that, okay? You want it to be like that, because that's when stuff just starts flying at you, the things that you want. It's beautiful. This is a new cycle for you. So this is why they're asking you to release what you've been dealing with some type of X here, some type of heart-based connection that just, it doesn't have to be an ex, it could be family, it could be friends, some heart-based connection that's really, you still love them. You can admit that. You can admit you still love them and know that they're not a good fit for you right now. I know that may seem like weird for some people to take that and understand it. It's hard to wrap your head around when you're like, okay, well, what does that look like in my environment? What does that feel like when I'm interacting with this person? So those are things you're going to have to figure out for yourself. It's through experience that you learn. So let's look at this individual. Oh, that really flew. Oh, oh, shit. This flew out crossway like this. Hold on, let me grab it, see if I can get it. Crossway like this on the unworthy, you're a better person than I am, and the Empress. And that is because you are receiving justice. Things are balancing out for you. You're leaving this behind. And the reason they feel unworthy, this is night and day difference. This Empress has already been here and birthed herself and brought herself out of it. I don't know why I'm seeing it this way, but right now I'm seeing this. I'm seeing this as wings with all those zodiac signs. So this is how this other individual feels when they look at you right now. Because you're somebody, it's like, you know what you want. You say what you want, and you're being more vocal than you used to be. And that's intimidating to people who used to be around you and see you in different energy now. And that's okay, because what's happening as things have balanced out for you, as things have balanced out for you, it's shining a light on the insecurities of this person that you're in love with. And that's a good place for them to be, because they haven't been looking at that. So this energy, it's like you're helping other people along by helping yourself. And there's no greater way to help anybody than to be happy yourself and be that living example for people. And I feel like that's what you're doing or have been doing, especially energetically. You've been showing people another side of life, that, just because you were born one way doesn't mean you have to do everything that way, or just because you think a certain way doesn't mean that everybody else on the planet thinks and feels is the same way you do about every subject that you do. So those are things that I feel like this person's recognizing. Maybe you're recognizing. Yeah. They need space. It flew out here in the past. So maybe you were in the past, you were feeling this Five of Cups about this person. But now it's flown out in the past with the cards for your person. This is what they're experiencing right now. Ooh, they got a poker face. Ooh. I feel like they kind of try to hide behind humor. I'm like banging this table. Let me put these up. I feel like they try to hide behind humor. And that is frustrating for you because you're somebody right now where you like want to get into it. Like the depth of the conversation needs to be had. They're not there yet. It would be too detrimental to their walk to do that, because what would happen is they would end up exposing their insecurities, and you, even if you just had a genuine question about it and you said it nicely, you asking them a question about something they felt, just a clarifying question, like, oh, really? Does so-and-so, a clarifying question, they would take that as an attack because they are feeling so vulnerable right now. And when you're not there being sensitive to their needs the way Source is, and you start asking questions, they feel like they're going to be interrogated. So this is not the time for you to be in the middle of their pain, all right? This is the time for them to feel this pain and realize this pain really has nothing to do with you, okay? Let's get some letters. Letters. I'm in a silly mood. It's been a great day. Great day. Where are the letters? The letter T could be significant. Ooh, and these stuck in my fingers, so let's see. A heart and E. Oh, a heart and E. Somebody thinks you're sassy. And they like it. Like, ooh, Virgo. I've never really experienced someone like Virgo. They're sassy, but man, they're confident, they're intelligent, and they're funny, and they're goofy, and they're a million things. This is like the kind of the energy that I'm feeling right now. Oh my goodness, I have ask altogether. So what do you need to ask? Let's see. I'm looking. I don't know how this is significant, but porn is here. Maybe somebody has a porn addiction or made a video. I don't know. That came out earlier. Remember when in these cards it was talking about, should be on the top still. Hold on. Ooh, fire signs came right out when I did that too. What was it? Denial around spring, trash. Too much screenshots, proof, letting go, throwing out memories. So maybe there was something that was done years ago that you don't know about, like maybe a video you sent someone. I don't know. What is this? What are you trying to say about this? Why is that significant? Oh shit, I have a liar right here. What? Now I have loot. This, somebody watching this may need to know this information, but this is not for everybody. It's coming up in this reading, I guess, because somebody watching this needs to hear it. No, I'm sorry. There's some type of like photo or video or something that's like pornographic in nature that maybe you created, or I don't know, something about you being involved in it. This light flickers a lot, so let's see. Something about you being involved in it, and someone who was really hurt and upset with you exposed that video. I don't want everybody on here freaking out because people do this, people send videos like that. Don't freak out and think, oh my God, You know, I feel like this is somebody that had a lot of animosity. There was like a kind of a blow up in the past. These letters are saying so much. I'm trying to put all the words together because they told me to. So just give me a second. I'm working on it. There's someone here. Their porn came out all by itself again, even after me mixing those up. There's someone here who's making money off of a video that you had with someone else, and it is porn. It's sexual in nature. Even if it was, a little bit long, something about somebody's been exposing this and they've been making money on it. They want you to pray about this. This is something they want to talk to you about in meditation. I have the word best that came out all together. Man. Is this settlement or settle? Hold on. Either way, settle. What? Do I really? Hold on. Ask came out again. You may get a settlement from this. Hold on. I have apology here too. You are going to get a really big apology about. I feel like somebody's going to confess this to you. I feel like somebody is going to confess what they did because they're afraid. They're afraid that they're going to get caught and get in a lot more trouble. Yeah, my light just flickered. They're afraid they're going to get caught and get in a lot more trouble if they don't come to you first and apologize. I have the word barn here, and they're telling me it's significant. Oh, well, that's good. They just said someone here who, I don't know, you've been wanting land or to move or something. They're showing a barn on a lot of land with a lot of animals right now, and they're saying it's yours. So if that's something you've been wanting, just know that it's coming down the pike for you. Don't be hasty. What? Okay. I keep having the word use all together. Use. I want to look at the tarot. What is this? I'm sorry it's so long. Damn it. I'm going to have to make this shorter. Whoever did this to you with this word use, it's like somebody used you and you didn't know it. And whatever videos you had with this individual or person, somehow someone's made money off of it. I feel like there's an apology coming. They're stuck in, they're trying to figure out how to tell you right now because, I feel like they were like drunk or high or something and they were just having an emotional reaction, and in that reactive energy they posted something and it got a lot of views, or somehow they made money from it. Okay, but what's going to happen is they're going to lose that money. So everything that they did to hurt you, they're going to lose. So, and more, because when you got the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, and this being generational wealth, like I was talking about having a solid foundation and having everything in place and a nice job and having money coming in, and they are tapping. I can feel the vibration in my right finger here. 404. While this may be embarrassing for you to find out about, it actually, I hate to say it, people enjoyed it. They enjoyed what you had. But on the other side of that, you're going to enjoy watching this person receive the karma for doing this to you. And you know what it is? I'm talking about a person here. They never thought they would get caught. And now all of a sudden you're upgrading and leveling up, and they're afraid they're going to get caught. So they're going to come clean. But they're going to lose more than what they gained from whatever videos this was. They're going to lose pretty much everything. Their foundation is going to be brought to the ground. So just know that you're going to have a front row seat to that. I'm not saying you'll enjoy that, but it's like, sources just got to make it aware. What's done in the dark has to come to the light, right? So eventually it all finds its way out into the light. Every time. Every time. Yeah, I just had shh in my hand. SHH. And when I was putting these letters back in, shh. Yeah, they don't want this out, but they're afraid. M and X could be significant. Ooh, I have the name Ben here. Linda. Donald. Renee. Bella, Belly. Bruce. Todd. I don't know how. Alessia. It's not Alexa. It's like Alessia or something like that. Yeah, so you're going to be receiving some great upgrade and financial blessing, or just leveling up at the same time that this person has to tuck their tail between their legs and come to you like, okay, I made a bad choice, and I'm so sorry that I did this. I was drunk, I was high, I was upset, and you hurt me, and blah 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 blah. Just gonna like, you got them in the bag there. It's like, no, they try to do something to you, you take them to court for that. Defamation of character, all kinds of stuff. They're screwed. But I don't feel like I feel like they're going to be exposed publicly, but I don't feel like it's going to be in like a courtroom. I don't feel that. I feel like their exposure is going to come through you sharing your story at some point. All right. That's what I have for you, Virgo. I'm sorry it's so long. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace and love.